Hi guys, in the last video we did the scarf for our set, and today I'm going to focus on making this beautiful and fun hat. It's all very easy to make. It's a little bit time consuming, but the hat actually takes much less time than the scarf. So I hope you started with me, and so let's get going. Okay, so for this one, for this hat, I'm going to use my leftover big cake, the one that I used to make my scarf, snood. I'm going to use the same hook. If you can see it, it's 5mm. I use that for the scarf as well, and then I'm going to need some scissors as well. So this one is going to be made slightly differently, because obviously the hat is not as wide as the snood. I want the changes of colours to look, slightly more frequent than they would normally if you just used all of these. So I'm going to attempt to separate the colours first. I've never done this before, so bear with me. Maybe I'll no. Shall I start from the outside? I'll start from the outside and see how it goes. And obviously that's going to be a bit more work because then I'll have to tie them back together. If you prefer to just do it with one continuous colour, do that, and whenever it changes, it changes. But I just prefer it this way. And then we're going to find the blue one, hopefully. It's actually not as difficult as I thought it would be. So that's that. And then the grey one, that might be a bit more tricky because of the how tangled the middle is already. But okay, so like that. And then I'm just going to separate the orange. And that's it. And to start with, I'm going to use these 4 colours. And then I might try to finish off with this orange, but if it's not enough, I don't think it's going to be enough, then I might just use one of the other colours again. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to start with a magic circle. Everybody makes magic circle differently. This is how I do it. I just wrap it around the 2 fingers and then go under, over, twist, yarn over and pull 3, and that's my magic circle. Okay, and now I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and do 8 triple crochets inside of the circle, so right in the middle, 8 triple crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, again, 5, 6, doesn't look very good, let's do it again. Not doing very well today. 6, 7, and 8. And because of the 2 strained ones, I'm just going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I'm going to tighten my magic circle, just pull the first bit, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first treble crochet. So never mind this chain, the first 2 chains don't count as a stitch, so slip stitch into the top of the first treble. There we go, and then we do 2 chains and 2 triple crochets in each stitch. 2 trebles in each stitch. Again, the first 2 chains don't count as a stitch, so 2 in the first one, 2 in the second one, and so on and so forth. So 2 in each stitch. Okay, we're almost there. Well, maybe not quite, we're halfway there. Okay, so 2 in each stitch, and then at the end of this one, you should have 16 stitches. I'll be right with you once I've got to the end. Okay, so I'm at the end of the round, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first treble. Again, ignore the 2 chains, just insert the hook on the top of the first treble. And then we do 2 chains again, and we're going into the first stitch, and the first stitch is going to be just 1. So in this one we do 1 treble crochet. In the second one we do 2 trebles in the second stitch, 1 treble in the next stitch, and 2 trebles in the next stitch. One treble in the next stitch, and 2 trebles in the following stitch. So this is our pattern 1 2 1 2, and when we get to the end of the round we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first treble crochet. Okay, I'm finished. So now I have 24 stitches, and as usual, just going to slip stitch into the top of the first treble. And now I'm going to chain 2 and go with 1 treble in the next 2 stitches. So 1 treble in the first stitch, and 1 treble in the next stitch, and then 2 trebles in the third stitch. One treble in the first stitch, 1 treble in the next stitch, and 2 trebles in the third stitch. And again, 1 treble in the first stitch, 1 treble in the next stitch, and 2 trebles in the third stitch. So this is our pattern for this round. And now we're going to connect with the slip stitch as usual in the usual place, chain 2, and start another round. In this round we're going to do 3 stitches with 1 triple crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to do an increase. So 2 triples in 1 stitch. And again, we're going to do 3 stitches with 1 triple crochet in each stitch. 1, 2, and 3, followed by an increase. So 2 triples in 1 stitch, and then again 3 triples, 1 in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, followed by an increase. So this is going to be the pattern for this round. So we're going to increase by 3. So we have 3 triples, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase. So we'll increase. So 3 1 3 1 3 1, and at the end of this round we're going to change the color, so do not slip stitch before you come back to see what I'm doing next. Okay, so we have 40 stitches at the end of this round, and now we're going to change color. Now with the blue one, I'm going to do the blue one now. I'm going to take the end that is slightly greenish so that it's an easier transition from yellow. It doesn't really matter very much, but just for your information, sometimes they are different. So you do the same thing, you just do a slip stitch, but instead of using your first color, you're going to get the second color, hold it in the back, and then pull it through and pull it through. And then we pull both of them tightly, like so. And I'm going to do a little, just tie a little bit to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. And then we're going to weave those ends in anyway. So now we're going to do we're just going to carry on doing increases, but with the second yarn. I just need to move my yarn on this side here so that it's on top of the yarn that I'm going to work with. Okay, so now we're going to do two chains as usual, and then we're going to do one triple crochet in each stitch for 4 stitches. So you're going to start in the very first one as usual, making sure that both the yellow and the blue are on top of your hook so that you can weave them in. So that's one, and then that's the second one, third one, and fourth. So that's 4 trebles, 1 in each stitch, and now we're going to do 1 increase just here, 1 increase in the next stitch. Okay, and then we're going to do 4 again, so 4 trebles, 1 in each stitch. And remember, we're still weaving in until this is done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we can cut off these ends. So both the yellow and the blue, but just make sure you don't cut off the one that you're working with. And then put it to the side and carry on working with the blue. So, oopsie, that did not go as planned. So got 1 more treble, and now we're going to do the increase. In the next stitch we're doing an increase, 1 and 2, and then we do 4 trebles, 1 in each stitch, 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by an increase, and again 4 trebles, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase. So this is our pattern for this round, and when I get to the end of this round I'll come back and show you what to do next. So you've already connected to the slip stitch, and now we're going to do the next round. So chain 2, and we're going to do 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, followed by an increase, and then again 5 triple crochets, 1 on each stitch, followed by an increase. So this is the pattern for this round, and I'll see you here once I've got to the end. So 5 triple crochets, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase, 5 increase, 5 increase. See you in a second. Okay, that should be 56 stitches. Now we're going to do one more increase, so chain 2 and 6 triples, 1 in each stitch. So starting from the very first stitch, 1 as usual, 2, 3, that's a bit too loose, let's do that one again, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by an increase. So in the next stitch we do 2 triples in 1, which is an increase, and then we do 6 stitches, 1 in each stitch again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then 2 triples in 1, which is an increase. So this is the pattern for this round. We're doing 6 triples, then increase, 6 triples, increase, 6 triples, increase, and I'll see you here at the end of this round. Okay, so we're done with our increases at the moment. So we have 1, 2, 3, and we need to do 2 more rounds of this color, and they're all going to be just 1 triple in each stitch. 1 triple in each stitch. So we do 2 chains as usual, and we start in the very first stitch as usual. So we now have 64 stitches, and we should have 64 stitches at the end of this and next round. So 1 triple in each stitch, then slip stitch into the top of the first stitch and do another round. So 2 rounds of 1 triple, and I'll see you here once I've done the 2 rounds. Okay, so now I've got to the end of my round. I have 10 rounds altogether, and now I'm going to change the color again. So I'm going to move on to grey, because this is the progression I have on my scarf. So I'm going to do the same color order. So I'm going to hold these 2 in the back, do a slip stitch, but instead of using the old yarn to slip stitch, I'm going to use the new one and just put it through. Then tighten both at the back, and then tie them together. And then I'm going to do 2 chains as usual, and 1 more round of 1 triple in each stitch. So 1 triple in each stitch. So nothing unusual, nothing special, just 1. And so you still should have 64 stitches at the end of this round. And I'll see you here once I've got there, and then we're going to do something slightly different for the next 2 rounds. Okay then, so now we're at the end of the round as usual. We're just going to slip stitch into the first triple crochet, and this time we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do what we did in the scarf as well. So we're going to skip one and we're going to do a triple crochet into the following stitch. And then we're going to chain one and do a treble after skipping one. So we skip one and do a treble in the next one. Let's have a look. This is what we have. And then chain one again, skip one and do a treble in the next. Chain one, skip one and do a treble in the next one. Chain one, skip one and do a treble in the next. So this is the pattern for this round. Let me just show you. This is what we're after. So I'm going to do that until the end of the round, and just before I finish, just before I slip stitch, I'll come and show you how to do that. See you in a second. So I'm at the end of my round and I have done my chain already. So now I'm going to slip stitch into the third chain from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3 into this one here. Slip stitch like so. And now I'm going to do 4 chains again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to skip stitch and do a treble into the next. And then I'm going to do a chain, then skip the next one and do a treble into the next. Chain, skip one, and then one treble into the next. So you'll see that when you do, you don't even have to look. It's always going to be this stitch here, just above the treble. So skip this one, go into that one. Skip this one, go into that one. Just don't forget about your chain in between. So it's treble, chain, skip, treble, chain. And that's going to be the pattern for this round. And when I get to the end, before I connect, I'll come back. Okay, so we're at the end of the round. We're going to do the same thing as we did previously. So just slip stitch into the third chain from the bottom, chain 2, and now we're going to go back to doing just one treble in each stitch. So go back into the same one first and do one treble in that one, and then one treble in every single stitch. So it might be quite tricky because we're not going into the hole, we're actually going into the stitch. So this one here is the one that's going to be difficult to get into. There we go, that's done. So one in the first stitch and then one in the next stitch. Just triple crochets, one in each stitch, and then in the next, and then in the next, and just do that all the way around. One treble in each stitch. And I'll come back when I'm at the end of this round. Okay, so I'm at the end of my round, and now I'm going to change the color again. So as usual, just hold them both at the back, slip stitch into the top of the first treble, and then pull the new yarn through. Then tie them together at the back. It's a bit long maybe. Make the tail a bit shorter. Tie them together nice and tightly, and then we can cut off the rest of the grey yarn, put it to the side, and then we're going to carry on with this one, but we also need to remember to weave the ends in. So chain 2, yarn over in the first stitch, 1 triple crochet, And then in the second stitch, again, just 1 triple crochet. We're going to do 1 triple crochet all the way around again. So I'm going to get back to you once I've finished this round. Okay, so we're close to the end now. We are going to slip stitch into the top of the first triple crochet. I'm going to chain 2 as usual. Now, instead of doing normal triple crochets, we're going to do front post and back post. So use yarn over as usual when you do a triple crochet, but instead of going into the stitch, you go around the post. So we do the front one first. So we go around the first post, yarn over and pull through, and do a triple crochet, finish as usual. And then do another triple, which is going to be the back post. So go through the back, around the post, yarn over, pull through, and finish like a normal triple. And the front post in the next one, so go through the front, around the post, yarn over, pull through, finish like a triple, then yarn over, go around from the back, yarn over, pull through, and finish like a triple. And again, front post, and then back post. And this is what we're going to do for the next couple of rounds, just to make a nice edging to our hat. But I am going to come back when I finished this round to show you where I slip stitch. So just do front post, back post, front post, back post, and I'll see you here once I finished this round. Okay, so now I'm going to do my last back post, and then I'm going to slip stitch into that space here. So not into the stitch, just the space right there. And now I'm going to chain 2 again, and I'm going to do the same thing at the same in the same way. So where I have the front post, I'm going to do another front post, and where I have the back post, I'm going to do a back post. So just the same for the entire round, front, back, front, back. If I can get it through, that would be great. There we go, that's my back. And then I need to go to the next, which is front post, and the next one is back post, and so on and so forth. So do that until the end. Let me just show you the edging. So this is what it looks like, and it's quite soft, and it makes it slightly tighter, and that's what you want at the very edge. And also there's a nice ridge. You can't see it very well now, but if you do another row or two, it will be much more visible. Okay, so I'll see you here in just a second. Okay, so I'm at the end of this round, and I've got one more round left. Now, you could just do the next round in the same color, and that would be great. What I would like to do though is make it in orange, because my tassels on the scarf are orange. Now, the only problem that I have is that I've pretty much used all my orange from this cake. So it doesn't really matter what color you use. I happen to have another cake, so I'm just going to use orange anyway. But if you don't have enough of next yarn, you can use any others that you had left over, or you can just carry on with the same color. So I'm just going to change the color. So again, I'm going to go into the space and not into the chain itself, and tie it off at the back so that it doesn't escape quite tightly. And now I'm going to do my last round. So chain 2, and we're going to continue with the front post and back post. Now, as you will see, because it's not just normal trefoils, we won't be able to weave in the ends, so we'll have to deal with that later on. So if you don't want the fuss, just stay with the same color and do the last round in the same color. Either way, you're doing it the same way: front post, back post, front post, back post. And when I get to the end, I will come back and we'll finish off the project. So I'll see you in a second. Okay then, so we're at the end of this round, and this is our last round, so now I'm just going to slip stitch and fasten off. And then we are done. Okay, so obviously we'll have to tidy the ends a bit whenever we couldn't put them in, but all in all, this is our hat. Now, if you'd like to finish now, I think that's perfectly valid, because the hat is complete as it is, but I will also make a pom-pom. So if you want to have a look at this video here, if you want to continue and make a pom-pom, then stick around. Do the pom-pom from this video here and come back when you're ready. Right, so I now have my pom-pom, and I'm just going to need a crochet needle to attach it. So to start with, bear in mind I still haven't done my ends, so that's going to happen. So first I'm just going to go with my crochet needle into the very middle. So I'm going to go around in those stitches to make sure that my yarn is attached. So make a little knot to start with. There we go. And then go into the next stitch like so. And in the next stitch like so. And then I'll know that the yarn is attached. So I'm going to pull it through the very middle of the hat, and this is where my pom-pom is going to go. So basically you need to find the ties that you did to secure the pom-pom, and in between those ties you put your needle and you attach the pom-pom to the hat. I'm deliberately using yellow because the top of my hat is yellow, so whatever I do, it won't be visible. And it doesn't matter for the pom-pom because obviously the pom-pom has many colors. So I'm just going to go around like this, making sure that it doesn't fall off. Oops, that wasn't my intention. Let me just untangle this. There we go. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do a few more times, just to go inside that pom-pom. Make sure that you go in between the ties and then come back, go through the top of the hat again and go back into the pom-pom. So I'll be right back once I've finished doing that. So there you have it. The hat is now ready. It has a nice fluffy colorful pom-pom to go with it and a nice rim, and it goes very well with the smooth scarf that I made previously. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.